Hi Learning Coaches, welcome to Language Skills. Today I will be talking about Unit 16, specifically Lesson 3 and Lesson 4. So we're going to start with Lesson 3. I'm going to open up that lesson. I will be using the lesson guide online. You may use the lesson guide online, or you may choose to use the Language Arts lesson guide. And if you choose to use the book, you could turn to page 309 and follow along. You will also need your Language Arts activity book. We're going to be doing page 57. And you will also need the book that was provided with your K-12 materials. It's called Tommy DePaula's Rhyme Time. So I will pause for a second and let you go and get those materials. Okay, you will be reading a poem in Tommy DePaula's Rhyme Time today. It is entitled The Land of Counterpane. Before you begin reading that poem to your student, you will want to talk about what the word counterpane means in the story. It is a word that means a bedspread. So the title of our poem is The Land of Counterpane, which could be also said the land of bedspread. You will want to ask your student to make a prediction about what they think the poem will be about. You will want to explain to your student that a stanza is a group of lines in a poem. Before you read the poem, you will want to have your students sit next to you so that they can look at the pictures and the words while you are reading the poem aloud. Once you have read the poem to them, then you can ask them the following questions, which you will find located in the lesson guide. Where does this poem take place? Are the ships, trees, and houses in the third stanza real, or are they toys? Why does the person in the poem call himself a giant? You will want your student to think about the prediction that they made before you read the poem, and then ask them the questions. Did you guess what this poem would be about? Did what the poem described sound like fun to you? Why or why not? Then you will want your students to think about what they like to do when they are sick. You might want to ask them questions such as, do you ever play make-believe with your toys when you are sick? If so, what do you pretend? If not, what would you pretend if you did play make-believe? Once you have asked those questions, if you feel like you need to go back and reread the poem, if they had some trouble answering some of those questions, you may want to go back and reread the poem again, pointing out the answers to those questions. Once you have finished reading the poem, then you will want to turn to page 57 in the Language Arts activity book. You will be working on this page here. You will ask your student to color the picture. You will want to reread the poem and discuss with them how they would play with each toy that they see in the picture. Once they have finished this activity, then you will go back online and you will finish up the online activities in which you will be reviewing some sequence words that were introduced in a previous lesson. You will be going over the words once, soon, during, following, and finally. These were words that were introduced in a lesson previously. And this is a game that they can play. Once they have played this game, then you will be finished with this lesson and you can mark this lesson complete, and that will be the end of lesson 3. We will now continue with Lesson 4 in Unit 16, called Growing Words. Once again, I will use the online lesson guide. You can use the lesson guide that is in the Language Arts lesson guide, and the lesson guide begins on page 311. Our lesson is entitled Growing Words. You will also need page 59 of your Language Arts activity book. You will be doing this activity. Your students will be learning some growing words. They will be learning the word adult, baby, child, fruit, plant, and seed. They will need to cut out these words Here's our baby, child, adult, seed, plant, and fruit. Then you will read these questions and ask these questions to your students. What do the words baby, child, and adult have in common? What is the difference between the words? What do the words seed, plant, and fruit have in common? And what is the difference between the words? The answers that you're wanting to hear from your student are listed in pink. So you want to help them understand those new words. Then once they've cut out their cards, you want them to shuffle the cards and have them place them in two piles, those that show a person and those that show a plant. And then you want them to arrange the cards in each pile from beginning to growing to grown. So for example, you would have the baby first, and then the child, and then the adult, and then with the seed would be first, and then plant, and then fruit. So this would be a great way to introduce these words and practice with these words. Once you have finished that activity, you will do the online activities. They will have a skills update lesson that will, your student will do a skills update lesson where they will be reviewing color words. Once they have finished that assessment, you will continue on with the lesson. They will have an online game that will review the growing words that they have already learned in the first part of the lesson. Once they have finished this computer game, and you feel sure that they understand the words adult, baby, child, fruit, plant, and seed, then you will be able to mark Lesson 4 in Unit 16 complete. Thank you so much for listening to the video. Have a great day. And if once you have finished Lessons 3 and 4 in language skills, if you will fill out the attendance survey located at the top of your March MIC, that will give us an idea of who are watching our instructional videos. Have a great day.